Hey guys, just wanted to do a bit of a video on the update to Isfan's app, RaceLabApps. Isfan I met a couple of years ago, got stuck into the radicals, and we had a lot of stoushes on track, and we got to know each other. And he watched a lot of my videos, and well, I'm not the only one, but it's inspired him to have a good old crack at iRacing. His obsession grows bigger than mine, would you believe? And an absolute enthusiast. And he spent the last year working on a program that's very similar but more competitive, I think, in the overlay section than the caps. I think what he's done the last 6 months, especially the last few weeks, is he's risen quite a few levels above. And yeah, just wanted to talk about he updated the app on the weekend and what I think about it. And yeah, bit of a review. So first thing you need to do is jump onto his Discord page, which is I'll leave a link down below for that, and go down to download releases. There's always the latest release in this page. Um, he released the program on the weekend, and it's still in the development stage. So it's version 0.16.8 at the time of this filming. But yeah, he is constantly updating it, and if he's very, very open to people's ideas. There's a page he's got on there, suggestions, ideas, and all of the issues that people are having and ideas that people have. He's very, very um in tune to everyone, and he's listening to everyone. He'll tell you yes or no, we can't do that. But yeah, once you've downloaded the program, you're gonna get an opening window just like this one, and we'll go to the app itself. Here we go, and this is the main page now. I think it looks fantastic. It's like there's a few things coming soon. This is the base program that he will be expanding on constantly. So just constantly just keep looking out on his Discord page. It's something that you kind of need to do at the moment. Um, there's the version number right there, and he has release notes. Really integrated app now. So the way I keep up to date is going on Discord page, and you'll see a little thing saying there's something for the download section. Or what you can do is quit the program, and it will automatically update and then reload. So to start off, you've got your dashboard, and I think this is pretty cool. Once you log into a session, it will log in. This program will log into your iRacing stats, and it will have like your driver name, your rankings. Well, it's sort of a transition between the website and the actual iRacing user interface now, but it's all inclusive within here. I'm looking forward to when this opens up. But as far as the overlays go, this is why we're in it. You'll see a lot of people using this overlay now. It's free at the moment. We'll get onto membership soon, but it's something that I've been using for quite a while. I had a CAPS membership for about 12 months, and I enjoyed it, but I don't know. There's no bias towards this fan here. I just think it's a much better program, and I highly recommend that you go and get it. So to start off, you've got your relative and all of these little menus here, which are getting better and better and better. For example, the strength of field now is properly calculated. You can have as much information in here as you want. There is one thing that I'm going to put, track map, little novelty. So this is a new feature of his. You can have this track map separate, but basically it shows where you are in reference to everyone else in the track, which is pretty cool for multi-class racing with the different colors and everything. But a little novelty, you don't have to have it. It's all about how you want to um, extract the information out of the program. There's three different ways. You can have it on your screen live while you're driving. Personally, I don't do that. I just like the basic numbers from iRacing. You can have it through OBS, which is my preferred option to present a more graphical representation on my videos, just so that you guys get more information. I don't see people's safety rating, licenses, iRating, what they gain or lose. All I see is the standard iRacing relative, which has their car number and their position. I think that's all I need to know. Personally, the way I drive, if I start thinking about someone's safety rating or anything, I form an opinion of them that might not be representative of their actual driving style. Like Sam there at 1.2, might think a little bit less of him, but as you can see, he's in front of everyone on this particular overlay. You can change so many things, like the widgets down here. You got lap counter. You can change to revs. Last time, wind speed, oil temp, water temp, last lap time. I'm just going to keep it at lap counter. That's how I roll, especially with a timed race. It calculates how long the race should go for. And then you can work through these options to have as much or as little amount of information as possible, like the physical distance. You can have in meters. Basically, you can modify this to suit yourself, and also play around with options to make your overlays different to everyone else's. That's the idea of it. We don't all want caps. We just want to make ours unique and something that attracts, for me personally in OBS, attracts viewers to stay and watch my videos rather than go, oh, it's this crap, turn it off. And yeah, so that's what I like about this. Car classes on and off, I think that's very handy. So that's the relative. Traditionally, you have that in the bottom right of the screen. Then you've got your standings. Your standings here, I think I need to really play around with. If you saw my endurance race at Suzuka the other day, I had way too much information, and this is where I'll be able to change everything. Driver info, turning all this stuff off. I basically want to have as much information there as possible, but I really want to drag it in, and we'll get to that later with my suggestions. You can have car brand on and off. You can make it as wide as you want. You can make it full screen if you really wanted to. iRating and SR, you can put that stuff on and off. Lap times, modifying there, pit info, multi-class stuff. And if you want to use this in your stream, it's as simple as creating a browser source in OBS or XSplit or Streamlabs OBS, highlighting that, Control C, create the browser source and paste it in there, and it'll pop up. You can modify it, place it wherever you want in OBS. The other way you do it, if you want it on your screen, you have open in browser mode, open in overlay mode. Isfan's a big virtual reality enthusiast, and he's been working really hard the last 6 months on integrating this app into virtual reality. And so yeah, so look out for that. You can also have it on a different device. So this will generate a QR code that you can scan with your device, and it will put the app. Actually, I use two phones either side of my steering wheel, and I have my own basic telemetry, but you could actually integrate that into your phones, which, thinking about it now, I might actually play around with that. That sounds very cool. So after that, these are all the different types of overlays. It's the fuel calculator. This is a graphical representation of how much fuel you're using, how much fuel you need at a pit stop, if you have a pit stop in a race, etc., etc. But personally, I found before he updated this app with the previous app, auto refuel on was really affecting whenever I went to the pits. So it was actually on the calculations that I've given the app, it was going to fill me up basically. And so I've turned that off. You really only want one program. Some people use Crew Chief, some people use this, some people have other auto refueling. Personally, I use the calculator on my phone, and it's either too much or not enough fuel. I guess that's the game. And yeah, so I like to calculate my own. So whenever I go into the pits now, make sure you tick that off unless you're going to use this app to fill you up. So that's the fuel calculator. The input telemetry, I've really enjoyed this addition to my overlays. It's always in my top right hand corner, and I personally use it for my videos, watching that day or the next day, and actually see my throttle traces. And there'll be times where I'm blaming the car, but if I look at my throttle trace and I look that I'm hesitating with my foot, that's a great graphical representation of how the driver's the issue and not the car itself. So I think that's really helped me improve to be as smooth as possible and to also analyze my trail braking. And I think I've gotten a lot better at trail braking and placing the pressure on the front of the car and helping it turn in rather than just slamming on the brakes. There's that thing. You watch Dave Cam, he does the same thing, Dave Cameron. Um, so yeah, learn from others around you, and I've learned a lot from myself with that. You've also got the head-to-head, which is another addition he added a couple of months ago, and this is comparing yourself to the guy in front, the guy behind. Oh, we'll go back to input telemetry. You can have as much or little as you want. You can have just that. I like the graph. Turn the speed on and off. The wheel type, I use. There's the simple, the iRacing, and the ship. Where's the other one? I lost my wheel. Damn it. He will fix that. There you go. That's part of my. I'm going to have a suggestion section at the end of this video. Try not to make it too long. So yeah, just a little novelty for a wheel. There's the head-to-head. Looking at all that. So that compares sector times, green or red, which is really good. So just quickly, I glance over OBS now. I never did, but just green or red to see if I'm making up time on the guy in front or the guy behind. And you can also change all of this stuff: practice settings, race settings, general. All that you can change the font, everything. The flat map is a new thing. I think it's people are a little bit torn about this. Personally, I might not use it. I'll just use the one on the relative as a novelty. But what you can do is put it down the bottom, and it shows your car here. That's where the pits are, and just shows it's more of a percentage calculation of where they are across the circuit, in front or behind. Once again, if you want to put that on, copy it, highlight it, copy it, browser source, beautiful. Boost box, this is something if you're using like an LMP2 car, LMP1, sorry, and that is a graphical representation, even the F1, of how much energy you're storing in your car. The flags, I love the flags. The flags, I think, is probably the best thing. It's really, you can make it unique to yourself, like a blue flag, be nice, knackers, little flag comes up, and freebies. And I've made all of these flags very individual to myself and my channel. Knacker's been my nickname. Black flags, you got a penalty knackers. You can type in here anything you want. You can enable or disable. There you go. Knackers, you're out. That'll just pop up. So once again, you can open it in overlay mode and position it wherever you want on your own screen. But personally, I just use it within OBS. And then you've got the advanced panel, which I don't use. But yeah, once again, very you can make it very unique to how you want your channel to show. Different things that you can put in, strength of field, the works, it's all there. And then you've got the streaming section. So it used to be with the old app, the streaming section was basically just Twitch chat. But he's moved the garage cover. So whenever you go into the garage on iRacing, this will pop up. So if you're streaming and you don't want people to see your setup options, that'll pop up automatically. You can now upload your own cover image rather than looking at Isfan himself. Then you've got the Twitch chat, which is the basic chat box. Comes up automatically. You can change the opacity, width, the scale, everything. Then you've got this new feature called Chat Race. Chat Race, the game itself, once you log in all your details, it's a really good function for Twitch or any stream really for in between races, and it's a little game that you can play with your viewers so that they type in certain things and it progresses them further up the grid, and the first to the end wins. And yeah, to really encourage participation within your streams. I think it's a very cool novelty, something that makes me want to go back to Twitch, to be honest. But yeah, you can change all the different commands, things that people can put in. Once again, highlight it, make it an overlay, and then once the race is over, you've got the standings page for the chat race. So yeah, very, very cool. We'll go into membership now. Well, we're up to 16 minutes. Try not to make it much longer. There's two forms of membership now with the app. It's fair enough. Everyone else charges money. Isfan's been free this whole time. And you can have a very basic overlay. I think he's just going to do standings and relative overlay. You get that for free. That's all good and well. But if you want all those advanced features, it's going to cost you $3.99 US a month, and it's very, very much worth it. I think Caps is $5 a month, and Caps is uh, personally, I found Caps to be fairly stagnant in how it was, his format, his programming, and everything like that. Isfan's a software engineer, I think. So this is his cup of tea, and he's using his professional experience in software engineering and moving it towards something that he loves, which is iRacing. So yeah, $3.99 a month. I think, considering the amount of money that we put into iRacing, I think that's very much worth the money. Then you've got the support section. So before you jump onto the Discord page and just batter him with questions, he might have already answered it. So he's now created a FAQ section. Um, Anything that you might need to know. He's included videos as well, um, tutorials on how to put it in. Very much needed, and I think that if you wanted to learn more and more about the program, something you might not have even thought about, go to the support page, check out the FAQs, and there's also a thing about all of the releases that he's done, all of the updates that he's done for each release. And yeah, you can see that he's very active, he's always updating. Then you've got your settings section, live positions. So, like for example, in the standings, instead of waiting for the next lap, which I might turn on, instead of waiting for the next lap for the standing screen to update, it'll do it as you're overtaking, which could be actually very cool, especially on the first 3 laps of an F3 race and watching that everyone skipping up and down, or the skippies at Interlagos this week. So now I want to go to how I think the program itself could improve. There's the section of his Discord page. Here we go. Which you can give ideas and suggestions. Personally, I've got so many ideas. I sat outside yesterday and just kept writing things down. This program has a great opportunity to really go above and beyond all the other overlay programs. So little things that I picked up, which should be fixed very soon as he keeps doing updates, is practice, qualifying, and race options have either changed or disappeared from the standings and relative overlays. I've always wanted a background opacity of the standings completely, especially on the right hand side. You can't fully black it out, and that's something that I personally would like. Text color, I'm finding it's a bit dark sometimes, especially in the relative box for cars that are a lap down on you, or cars that you're a lap down from. It's a really dark blue or a dark red. If you could change the color of the text, that would be fantastic. Having different layouts for different cars, I think this might come. I would really like that. For example, I'd like a different layout for the skippies than what I would for an LMP2 race, multi-class race. So having it automatic when you jump into a car on iRacing, it automatically changes your overlays settings, which I think would be pretty cool. And a simplified standings overlay, just like in the Aussie V8 Supercars. I was watching the V8s yesterday, and I'll show a few pictures in a minute about how they lay out their their things, and also a wish list. Now, Isvan, who is now charging for this app, has the opportunity to spend a lot more time on it. And he's working alongside his mate. I can't remember his name right now. Sorry about that, mate. But I really think it's a good idea for people to, um, for Isvan to expand this app to almost another dimension away from all the other apps that you can get. If you can pay $4 a month and have a couple of other features, then that would be very cool. So what I was thinking is a bit like what they have in Formula One, um, and whenever someone speaks, to have a little overlay of that person's name, a little speaker option that's expanding, and their car number, what position they're in, and their class. But also integrating it into the standings and relative, like what Caps used to do. I'm not too sure if it does it now, but the old Caps I used to watch of Matt Malone, if someone was speaking, a little speaker icon would pop up next to their name. I think that would be very handy. I was watching a race the other day where everyone was abusing each other, and you had to look at their car number from the iRacing pop up, and then refer that to where they are on the track on your own relative. And I found that a bit confusing. If that was to pop up, just a little speaker option, I think that would be pretty cool. The track map itself, either have a full map of the track. I've been chatting to my mate Mick, and he'd love a track map just to have it like what Caps used to have. I think it's one major thing missing from Isvan's app, but I'm sure he's working on something that will be above and beyond what Caps is. And to even have like what Formula One has, a little pop up that comes up with the sector of a yellow flag, just to show that section of the track, that sector of the track that comes up yellow, saying yellow flag or whatever. I'd love YouTube and Facebook chat. He's only really looked at Twitch chat since he started the app. So to go into a YouTube, and a lot of people doing Facebook gaming at the moment, that'd be cool. A fastest lap overlay, a bit like what pops up in the Formula Ones that I've just been watching. A quali lap overlay. So just like the F1s, there's 3 different boxes, and I'll show you some pictures in a minute of all the different that it's like the last 3 people in the final sector of the track come up, and there's a timer till they hit the finish line, and whether they're up or down on the fastest lap. I think having a quali lap overlay would actually change the way people present videos, or definitely streaming because it's all live, but videos you could have like a qualifying section at the start of your race. A betting thing is one major thing missing from this app. A lot of people are still using betting from Caps, but actually use Isvan's app for everything else. And a final standings overlay is a personal want. It'd be great at the end of the videos if I could show a different scene in OBS that actually has a representation of the final standings based on all the information that comes from the session window that I use at the end of all my videos. If that was done in within this overlay, I could just push a button, it'd go to the standings, and that would be how I would summarize my video. So yeah, that's where we are. Oh yes, the pictures. They're around here somewhere. Here we go. Open with. Geez, I worked this one out well, didn't I? So here we go. Apologize for my photos, but Yeah, this is the qualifying section. I took these photos of my TV outside, so it's a bit sketchy. You can see my back back fence. So yeah, you've got the last three guys in the final sector of qualifying. It shows purple, green, yellow, or red for each sector, but it also has a countdown to where they are in that particular lap. On the final sector, and then you've got this basic graphical representation. I think that would be a very cool addition, especially for people who's streaming. But for myself, I could have like a, if I qualified well, that is, have a qualifying section of my video to start each video. Then we've got the team radio. Oh, there's Knackers. Team radio pop up. So when someone speaks, have this little pop up, not so much a picture, but their name, car number, position, how many positions they're up or down. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool, and the class that they're in. This is the V8 Supercars overlay. I apologize for what terrible photography. So this is a basic overlay of the V8 Supercars. It's a little box on the side, and it shows position, car number, 3 letters for their name, and how many times they've pitted. I can get out of that now. And also within that overlay, same thing, how many positions they're up or down, and how far away they are from the leader. And finally, down here, you've got a summary overlay, which runs live and just shows where people are compared to the leader or a particular person. These are just basic ideas that I've got. And yeah, just another basic one of how many positions are up or down. So more like a rotating overlay. That would be very, very cool. But to keep the width of the overlay quite narrow, have it rotating rather than having things stacked right next to each other and stretching out, as right out to this part of the screen. You could actually have this rotating info and bring the overlay, even to 25% of the width from the top left or wherever you have your standing, sorry. I think that's the last one. Yes, it is. So there's that's my thing about this app. I think it's absolutely awesome, and make sure you go and check it out. I'll leave a link down below for Isfan's Discord, and yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate if you've lasted this long. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, down if you didn't. Make sure you subscribe. I'm sorry for babbling on, but there was a lot to cover there, and yeah, I highly recommend this app. If you haven't got it yet, go and get it. If you've got this, really have a look at the way you can make your experience or your viewers' experience very unique to yourself. So have a great day, guys. See you next time.